Hello children, how are you all? Hope so you are all fit and fine. The first part of ancient civilization we have already seen. This is the second part of it. So in the first part you have seen the ancient kings, the places and many more. Just like that, today also you are going to see the different kind of world. Shall we begin our class now then? Let us start our class with an activity, that is a round of quiz. Okay, so the first question for you is, who introduced Olympic Games for the first time and where was it held? Any idea? Fine. The second question is, can you recognize this queen? Okay, if you have seen my last class, this will be easy for you. The third question is that, can you recognize this ancient wonder of the world? Okay, this was built by Romans. The final question, which civilization would these idols belongs to? Any idea? If you can answer for these questions, it's okay. If you cannot answer also, that is also okay. Before the chapter goes to end, you are going to answer for all these questions. I am very sure of it. Among all the ancient civilization, what we are going to learn today, the Greek civilization stands first. The Mediterranean Sea is here. So this is a peninsula. Peninsula is that one part of the earth, it will be attached to the continent. All the other parts that is surrounded by the water, that is called peninsula. You know that, right? Individually there are many islands are there, so all of that are separated by valleys, mountains and all. So if you want to see the natural beauty, the mother earth's nature beauty, you will have to visit Europe once. Okay, India is also beautiful as well as Europe also is beautiful. So Greek belongs to Indo-European race. Then Aeolians and Leonians and Dorians are the different tribes of ancient Greek. These are the three tribes where the Greeks have emerged from. How the city states will become from the villages? This is very easy to understand, is it not? Okay, 3000 years ago, every village of the Greek had a king and council of elders advised this king. Okay, so there was a council, the king was there, to advise him there was a council. This was a usually practiced thing all over the world, is it not? Like that, you know, there were many villages. As the villages have started to grow, if the agricultural produce has extended, then they will have to trade with the other village. So gradually from village to village, next village, just like that, from the small city to it emerges as a big city. All cities become city states. So from the villages it has become the states. Each city state had their own army, administration and guardian deities. This you have seen it in Egyptian civilization also. There also for every village and every places there were guardian deities. The deities, if you don't understand, it is nothing but gods only. So they were having, though it was a very small place, they were having their own army and administration council was there in that place. All those people, they are culturally united together. So their culture was same with all the groups. Athens and Sparta are the most influential city states. First, let us learn about Athens. Athens was an ideal city. What is the meaning of ideal city? It is just like a model city for all the other cities. Why was it called ideal city? Only because it had democracy. 2500 years ago, Cleisthenes named king, he threw away kingship in Athens and he laid foundation for democracy. What is democracy? Here in this picture, all the people are there. These people are electing a king. Nice, no? During olden time only thought about this. The school of Hellas. This is very important, children. The Pericles named king's time in the Greek civilization is called golden period. Why is it called as golden period? During his time, science and art, it has reached to the pinnacle. Pinnacle is nothing but it has reached to the height. So only this period is known as golden period of Greeks. What is the meaning of the school of Hellas? It is nothing but Athens is model for all the other Greek nations, he told. Now we have already learnt about Athens. Now let's come back to Sparta. Sparta was not like an Athens. There were three kind of tribes, you know, we have learnt it. So among those, Dorians, they were ruling Sparta. The part of these, it is called as Greek. So next to this, there was a king called Darius. He was from Persia. He declared war against Greeks. Then Athens and Sparta, both of them, they have united together and fought against him, Darius. There is a famous movie I can tell you, under the supervision of your parents you can see this movie, that is 300. A movie is there in English, that is 300. You can watch this movie. So you will understand how the Athens and Spartans, both of them have defeated Darius, you will learn. The war which was rallied by Athens and Greeks together, in the history it is known as Marathon War. Small army of Athens and Sparta, they have defeated a big army of Darius. So only it is known as Marathon War. So this should be an example for all the other nations. Once if they are united, then nobody can defeat them. So between the brothers only there was a conflict arose. So in that Spartan won and they have made Athens as a subordinate state. This is very common in history, is it not? Can you see the Spartan warrior here? He was just looking like this during olden time. The contributions of the Greeks is enormous in history. Olympia is a place, there was a temple, it is known as Zeus. I have asked you a question at the beginning only, right? Who started the Olympic Games first and where was it held? So here is the answer. So Greeks have started it and at the beginning it was started at Olympia. See, here is the temple, this is Zeus temple, but only ruins are left now. During the previous Olympic, that is which was held in Tokyo, 205 nations have participated, along with some refugees also participated in that. They were not having any country to say. Contribution to the field of philosophy by Greeks is of immense value. So first one is Socrates. You know about Socrates, you might have heard of Socrates, many other books in many other disciplines, there we can see the Socrates. Okay, Socrates was a renowned Greek philosopher. He used to ask the question for the people, question after a question, so that the knowledge will be enhanced like anything. The next comes after Socrates is Plato. Plato was a disciple of Socrates. Do you understand? Next, Plato's disciple was Aristotle. Here you can see that the first one is Socrates, the second one was Plato, third one is Aristotle. Aristotle's student was the great Macedonian king Alexander. Do you understand it now? So the four people, one after the other, these people will come in Greek history and all of them are worldwide, they are famous. Why? Because they were having the Guru Parampare. In Kannada we call it as Guru Parampare. Nowhere in the world we can see master and disciple tradition just like this. Do you understand it now? So only the philosophy of the Greeks, it has an immense value. In many places you might have heard the name called academy, right? All the institutions, that is educational institutions, are called academy. First time the word academy was introduced by Plato. He established one of the academy. So that was an educational institution. He named it after as academy. So since then all the institutions are named after academy. The person called Demosthenes, he was an expert orator. Orator is nothing but whoever address the people elegantly, they are known as orators. They speak very nicely. Do you know who is the father of history? The father of history is Herodotus, and Thucydides was a great historian. There is a picture, one after the other, just like two faces of same coin. The picture you can see. Homer was a blind poet. He wrote two epics. Which are those? One was Iliad, the other one was Odyssey. Children, all of you would be interested in listening stories, right? Okay. For you, I have brought two stories. One is Iliad, the other one is Odyssey. Shall we begin the story now? Iliad, the story starts from a fort. This fort was there in Troy. A big walls were there in Troy. This cannot be penetrated by any enemies. So Greeks have tried, but they have failed in penetrating the wall. They pretended like they were going back and they have made this kind of horse. This horse is known as Trojan horse. This Troy people have assumed that this Greek have went away and they have taken this Trojan horse inside the fort. The people of Greeks, they were hid in that horse and night time and they have opened the gate of this fort. What happened finally? The big fort, the elegant fort has burnt into ashes. This is the story of Iliad. That is Odyssey. So he was a lost soldier. To prove himself, that is he himself as Odyssey, so he will have to string to this bow. This bow was a boon of some other god. Nobody except Odyssey could string to this bow. And finally he was succeeded in that and everybody accepted that he himself is a Odyssey and he lived happily ever after. How was the story, children? Nice, no? Aeschylus, Sophocles and Euripides. These three were the great dramatists. If you want to see the Greek architecture and if you want to learn about that, in Athena there is a temple which is known as Parthenon, which is very example for Greek architecture. The sculptures about the Greek, it was appreciated by all the historians. There will be veins on our body, right? Even that also have been carved on this kind of sculptures by the Greeks. So only the Greek sculptures are well known to all the world. The Greek sculptures express the natural human body and its structure. Myron was the best known sculptor. Here you can see that person is there, no? This Myron. So he was the best known sculptor. Polygnatus was a famous painter. He used to paint very well. Euclides and Pythagoras were the renowned mathematicians. See, he is the founder of that Pythagoras theorem. He is known as Pythagoras. He lived in Greek. Hippocrates was the father of medicine. He looked like this. Next, Greek were victorious in the Battle of Marathon against Persians during 2500 years ago. We have learnt it now. Philippides named one soldier. He ran 24 miles to convey this message of victory, and after conveying the message, he died in Athens. So, in his memory, even today in Olympic Games, we have one competition that is called marathon race. See, this is known as Philip. He is the person, he destroyed democracy in Greece. Who is he? He is a famous person's father. That is none other than Alexander the Great. Alexander, at the age of his 20, he set out for and conquer the entire world. And he was succeeded in that also. About half a part of the world, the known world during that time, it was fallen in the hands of Alexander the Great. He came to India also, and here he fought against the famous king called Porus, but he could not win that war. According to European history, he won the war. According to Indian history, he could not win against Porus. He has built an elegant city which is named after Alexandria in Egypt. So he died at the age of 32 while going back from India. So far we have learnt about Greek civilization. Now let's come to Roman civilization. Here you can see Italy. So here comes the Rome. Okay, it is the peninsula of Mediterranean Sea. So Latins were there in this land. Romulus and Remus were the two ancestors. They are responsible for this Roman civilization. The district name was Latium, where the Roman civilization has emerged from. Even the Rome civilization was also arose next to Tiber river. For the rise of civilization, river banks are very important, as well as, see, this Roman civilization and Greek civilization, both were there at the banks of port cities. So they have flourished like anything. So even the rivers as well as ports are very important for any civilization, we can say here. Now if we come to the political history, here we can see Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar. These are two very important persons in Roman civilization. Pompey, Crassus and Julius Caesar formed the first triumvirate in Rome. They were the generals of different parts of Rome. First, let's learn about Julius Caesar. With the death of Caesars, rivalry for the power grew between Pompey and Caesars. So now, in that, Pompey was murdered by Caesar. See, here you can see the picture. Pompey is murdering or killing the Caesar. So both were friends only. Just human limitations, we can say that. He is killing his own friend. Egypt was defeated by Julius Caesar and fell in love with a beautiful queen called Cleopatra. Okay, here you can see the beautiful queen Cleopatra. Julius Caesar, he became dictator later. He made himself as a dictator and abolished the Republic of Rome. Once if he is a dictator, there will be rivalry among that state itself. So he was murdered by his own followers. Agriculture, industry, trade, all this has flourished during the time of Augustus Caesar. Whatever the calendar we are following today, it is known as Gregorian calendar. Very nearer to that, there was a calendar called Julian calendar. He brought that into action in his state. Augustus Caesar continued the work of Julius Caesar. Here at the top of it, you can see Augustus Caesar. Mark Antony, Lepidus and Octavius, they have formed the second triumvirate. Octavius shared the power with Mark Antony. Mark Antony and Octavius, these were friends, but they have driven away this Lepidus finally defeated Antony also. Now, who is remaining here? Octavius. Octavius only remaining here. See, Octavius, he just looked like this. Octavius became the most powerful man in Roman Empire. His period is known as Golden Age. Why is that? Let's learn it in future. You must be wondered that Jesus Christ was there in the period of Octavius. He introduced many social reforms. Who? Octavius. He introduced many social reforms and the rule was peaceful. So only it is called Roman peace. Naturally, during that time, economy and cultural progress were also achieved like anything. Successors of Augustus Caesar, they were incompetent. They were not so competent as Octavius. They were just defeated by tribals. A big entire civilization was defeated by a tribal communities. Now let's come to the contributions of Romans. Romans made a great contribution to the literary world. Literary is nothing but anything which is written, that is known as literary world. Virgil was the great poet and he wrote an epic. Epic is nothing but which is very important for that community. This Virgil wrote as Aeneid. Okay, Ovid was another great poet. Cicero, Plautus, they were also the very literary figures. Literary figures is nothing but they have also contributed for literary works. Cato, Cicero and Seneca, they are the very famous philosophers and they have advocated peaceful coexistence with the nature. In the present world also, this is very important. See, during that time only, they thought about that. Colosseum. This Colosseum, it was built by Roman empires and you must be wondered, not even a single piece of steel was used to construct this one. Only the cement and bituminous are used to construct this big construction. So, that construction is still prevails now. Now also we can see that it is just like this only. Okay. The next one is amphitheater. This is the greatest contribution by the Romans to the world. See, whatever the stadium you have seen, whatever the theater you have seen, most of those that will be in the oval shape, is it not? So, we are following the amphitheater concept from the Romans only still now. Cupid statue and Harappan are the sculptures. These are the best examples of Roman contributions. The first one is Cupid statue, the child, he was sitting there, right? That is Cupid statue. And the next one is carved on the wall, Harappan, that is known as Harappan. Children, do you know anything about the encyclopedia? Encyclopedia is that about a matter or about a thing. If they have written this one information about that, that is known as encyclopedia. During olden time itself, Pliny, named historian, he created one encyclopedia that is known as natural history. Galen was the famous surgeon during that time. Strabo was the famous geologist. The surgeon is making surgery here, you can see that. Next one, Roman law served as the best law for entire world during that time. They were spoken Latin language. Even today, many words like alpha, beta, gamma, all that which are there, no, it comes from Latin language itself. That is nothing but Roman civilizations only. So far, we have learnt about Roman civilization, Greek civilization. Now, let's come back to India. Here also a huge, a beautiful, a marvelous civilization was there. What is it known as? It is none other than Harappan civilization. Indian history, we thought that it starts from Vedic civilization at first, but Dayaram Sanhi and Rakaldas Banerjee, they were the responsible that they have excavated Harappa and Mohenjo-daro sites. Then we got to know that our history was date backs to Harappan civilization rather than Vedic civilization. A beautiful look of Harappan civilization you can see here. This civilization was found next to the river of Indus and its tributaries. So, we have named it after as Indus Valley civilization only. Here you can see that this is the Indus river which flow from Himalayas. So, here we can see all the civilization. See here. So, this civilization was there next to the Indus Valley and its tributaries. So, only we named it after as Indus Valley civilization. How many sites have we excavated so far? It is more than 1500 sites. This civilization was there beyond of Sindhu plains also. All this comes under Sindhu plain. But today's the new excavation, it says that our Indus Valley civilization was there beyond of this limit. So only instead of just to call this as Indus Valley civilization, it is known as Harappan civilization. Why do we call it as Harappan civilization? Because the first site of Indus Valley civilization was found at Harappa only. So only it is known as Harappan civilization. What is the length and breadth of this? This has 13 lakhs of square kilometer vast. In the tip of north, Mand, and at the east, Alagirpur, and in the west, Sukaneri was there, and at the south, Damabad was there. So these are the vast stretch of Harappan civilization, we call it. Very important sites of Harappan civilization are just like this: Kalibangan, Dholavir, and Rakhighari. Where are these? See, these are here. So one is Mohenjo-daro, here it is, here is Mohenjo-daro, next one is Harappa, and Dholavir, Lothal, and Rakhighari, so which is nearer to Delhi. Why is Indus Valley civilization so prominent? That is because of city planning. Even the modern engineers cannot also plan just like this. So only Indus Valley civilization famous for. Harappan sites they are really well planned. They were protected by forts. Here you can see that. See, this is the fort wall. Okay, here also we have fort walls. The river which was flowing outside of the settlements, the water did not come inside at all. So only it is very famous. And wide roads, public wells, multi-storied buildings are the best known features of Harappan civilization. Well planned drainage system was there. So that is also very important in Harappan civilization. The drainage system is the great achievement of our ancestor, they call it. Okay, so in the entire world, such kind of drainage system during early civilization time we haven't seen anywhere. See, the water was drawn from here, and if the water was excess, it was carried away from here only. So import and export of the water was done through this drainage system. Here also you can see that. In modern day, we are going to construct the chambers for the drainage system, right? Just like that they have done during olden time itself. How forward they are, is it not? Now we can go for town planning. See, here you can see that aerial view of Harappan sites. So here you can see that this settlement was completely surrounded by forts. A river is flowing here. How much ever the water they need, only that much amount of water was taken inside, and rest of the water flown outside the settlement. See, in both the place the river is flowing, but it is not coming inside of settlement. That is the great achievement, is it not? If we don't talk about the great birth of Harappan civilization will not be ended at all. That famous the great bath is. The great baths, still the contradictory is going on, that is whether it is used for daily purpose or whether it is used during only the ceremonial purpose. That is still in controversy. But let us see that in Mohenjo-daro we have seen a great bath. It was found in Mohenjo-daro, and that is rooms also there next to this great bath. Okay, so this is commonly it is known as public bath. Now it is known as great bath. The next very famous the structure of Harappan civilization was granaries. Here in this picture, here you can see that the granaries are there. See, this granaries, this is also a granary. This was constructed like from the upside, if the granaries are put here, so at the downside we can draw the granaries whenever we need it. Such kind of structures they have made. But today what we are seeing here is just the ruins of it, but during olden time it was just like this. Can you understand this? If we talk about Lothal, it is a famous harbor city during olden time. Here is the settlement, here is the port. The harbor is there here, so whatever they wanted, and that is import and export business was done here. Economic life of Harappan civilization. They were weaving the cotton and woolen clothes, and the production of baked bricks were another occupation of these people. One is weaving, the other one is baked bricks business. They did animal husbandry, cattle, goats, pigs, such kind of animals also they have raised. And in the entire world, first time the cotton was grown only in India, and that too in the civilization, that is early civilization, that is Harappan civilization. Greeks also imported this from India. They named it after as Sindhuvam. Why is this called as Sindhuvam? Because it has come from the land called Sindhu river settlement. So only it is known as Sindhuvam. Harappan had the trade relationship with Mesopotamia. This we have already learnt in previous class, and they have called this civilization, that is Harappan civilization, as Meluha. They carried the trade activities through the Lothal ports, which we have seen just now, and through the Arabian Sea. How were they carried? See, just like this. Here is India and here is Mesopotamia. Using only primitive kind of transportation system, just a floating boats or something, they have carried the goods from here to here. This is an amazing achievement according to me, even according to you, right? Okay, social life. If we come to the social life, both the men and women, they were decorating themselves. Especially women, you know, they have used ornaments like necklace, fillets, armlets, finger rings, bangles, earrings and nose studs. Whatever worn by the women, if anything left over, that was worn by men. Okay, I am just kidding. They were using cosmetics and they were knowing how to use the perfume also. See, here is the perfume. Such kind of perfume they have used during date backs only. See, the social life of Harappan civilization just looked like this. A lady, she is selling some goods and some other people are buying it. This is the famous model of terracotta boat. If they have done such kind of artifact, they would certainly have made one prototype of boat, is it not? So through this only they have went from Lothal to Mesopotamia. Chances are there. The artifacts which we have found here, the small toys like, see, marbles, balls and dice, they used for sports, and toys which are normally which we have seen here is bullock carts. How we see the movies today, just like that, during olden time they have entertained themselves by the bullfighting, but it is not legal now. If we come to the art, small idols of mother goddess, here you can see the mother goddess. This kind of art idols are available all over the sites. More than 2000 terracotta seals have been found. These are seals, such kind of seals have found in Harappan civilization. The famous sculptures of Harappan civilization are, one is dancing girl, the other one is beard man. Okay, these are the two artifacts which are still can be seen in these sites. What sort of religious they would have practiced? This is, people worshipped here was Pashupati. It is nothing but Lord Shiva. Okay, and next is mother goddess, which you have seen in the previous slide. People tree, neem tree, sun, fire, earth, water, snakes, all the things were worshipped. So we are also just like this only, right? So we are inherited from Indus Valley civilization only, I think. Fire pits are found in Kalibangan. It is just like modern day Yagnakundas. Okay, so it shows that they were using this for ritual purposes, I think. The first one is Lord Pashupati. The second picture is Yagnakunda or fire pit. The next one, the scripts. The scripts which were used in Harappan civilization are not yet to known for the mankind. Why? Because to know any kind of script from the olden civilization, it needs huge amount of investment. So that is not possible in India, I think. So only such kind of scripts were not read till now. Okay, the scholars have been trying hard to understand the writings, but it is not possible yet. Everything is in vain yet. Decline of cities. The entire cities, the entire civilization was declined. There are many causes for this, because nobody has seen why was it declined. Some are listed just like this. The first one is the floods were very regular in this place, so only the people of Indus Valley civilization may have vanished from here. So they were using more and more woods to burn the bricks, and they were cutting down the trees. Maybe due to this, ecological imbalance was happened and they have migrated to other places. The Aryans who had come from outside of Sindhu region, they have invaded on them, attacked on them, and they have driven away from that place, it would be. The last one is the spread of infectious diseases may have vanished this civilization. That is spectacular town planning they have left to us. If we use that, now also we can construct the modern day cities. See, the first one is Charles Mason. He came to India. He thought that in this place Alexander the Great and Porus have been fought, so only these many artifacts are available, but it was wrong. And whatever the gold they have used in Harappan civilization, it came from Kolar, they are saying now. So it is very proud moment to us, that is from Karnataka we have sent the gold to Harappan civilization people. See, this is the home assignment. Please do complete this home assignment and show it to your class teacher. The last one is analyzing activity. how relevant was Harappan civilization for today's generation? That you'll have to analyze. Thank you.